Normally, I wouldn't cover this segment on Prime News because it's a discussion about teens and sexing. But since there is so much going on in the world with sexual predators, pedophiles on the internet, downloading family photos and videos of children naked, half naked, and now we have the teenagers with cell phones with cameras in them, sexing naked photos of themselves. So this is for all the parents out there that have children with cell phones and cameras.
You know, we keep telling you about cell phone sexting, and now there's another possible case, an investigation underway at a middle school. It's outside of Boston. Reports, familiar story, young girl sends the naked picture of herself to a young boy, and now school officials think he may have charged money for others to see it, almost 50 other kids. Why is this happening in our schools? One official says teens just do not understand. They don't get it, how bad this can be.
They take it as just a natural way of speaking and communicating. But the consequences that can come with what you send and what you say and how you do it can be dire.
All right, teens might not understand, but this is serious business. Some schools in the area have offered seminars, but obviously that hasn't worked. Now the district attorney might charge these kids with child porn. That's going to get the message across, but do we want to really start labeling kids as sex offenders? What about community service? Getting a job, ban them from Facebook, using the cell phone to send pictures. That's accountability. And then if they reoffend, then we make it more serious. But we got to get the message across somehow. We're talking about middle school, 13, 14-year-old kids. Join us on Facebook if you want to continue that conversation, if you have answers. And now this. Isn't this great? We have teachers allegedly joining in, accused of sexting. A high school English teacher in Londonderry, New Hampshire. She's 41 years old, mother of two, accused of sending a student 4 nude photos of herself.
Many times when I talk to people about this, I use the mom and dad rule, which is if what you're doing, is it acceptable if your parents saw it? Would you be embarrassed if your parents saw it?
And I hope that she's gone and she's not able to teach again.
Okay, I'll solve the issue. If your children have to have a cell phone because you feel that a child in middle school needs this cell phone so desperately to go on through their workday in school, don't give them one with a camera. No cell phone with a camera. I prefer no cell phones, but at least go with one with no camera in it.
Her name is Melinda Dennehy. She turned herself into police Friday morning. Court documents say she emailed a 15-year-old student. Again, 4 nude photos of herself. This is about 2 months ago. She's also accused of relentlessly texting him, saying she wanted to perform a sexual act on him. She's on administrative leave, and right now she can't have contact with anyone under the age of 16, let alone go to school property. We'll take your calls on this. 1-877-TEL-HLN is the number. But first, let's bring in Wendy Walsh, clinical psychologist. You can also find more of her thoughts, momlogic.com. And back with us, HLN law enforcement analyst Mike Brooks. Let me read this Facebook comment, Wendy, from Megan. Do we have to take the teachers' phones away as well? I mean, Wendy, how does a 41-year-old woman get to this point to where she's sending, allegedly, naked pictures of herself to a 15-year-old?
Okay, so Mike, we're in that no rules relationship revolution place, remember, where we're looking at Tiger Woods as a role model, and we're looking at cougars as somehow okay behavior. Basically, this woman is in a world of adolescent hormones running wild, and she's forgotten her own boundaries. She's forgotten that she's the adult in the class, not the one susceptible to the raging hormones around. She's the one who's supposed to lead these kids away from their own bad behavior.
All right, so again, she's accused, but besides the photos, texting this kid nonstop. What's going on here? Is she just obsessed with a 15-year-old?
Yeah, apparently she's married and has 2 kids, and she has been, it seems like, hijacked by a delusion of love and attraction, and that's what sexual hormones do. And people do wild things when they have sexual arousal, and she forgot for a moment her place. She forgot her boundaries and forgot who she was talking to.
Yeah, forgot about it. She should be a role model.
Come on.
She's got
I don't care how many
That's
ridiculous.
Should be a role model for those two daughters. I can't. We'll talk about the hurt to them. Mike, this is serious business, right? She's looking at a felony, isn't she?
A Class B felony, Mike. She could spend up to 7 years in prison if she is found guilty. And you know what? If this was a male doing this with a female student, they'd have already buried him under the jail.
Yep.
Come on. I mean, you know, do we have a double standard here?
Yep.
I want to follow this one, Mike. I think, as you do too, to see what really happens to this woman. Is she going to do any time? When, you know, how long is this? Let's fast track this. Let's have a rocket docket. Let's get her arraigned on March 25th, on March 23rd, and let's see what happens to her. She needs to go to jail.
Yep.
Okay, we'll take your calls on this. 1-877-TEL-HLN. Join us on Facebook as well. What's going on as we see this teacher again? 41 years old, accused of sending 4 nude shots of herself, and she's a mother of 2? Call in.
Okay, let me add to the cell phone issue again. All right, if our children need these cell phones again so desperately, they can't get through the world without a cell phone. I mentioned no camera, no access to texting, just straight old dial the phone, call home mama, call a friend, and no texting, no camera.